Hello everyone. As the list of new cue cards has been updated, that is from Jan to April 2022, you will get all the latest cue cards in this video for IELTS speaking module. Let's start video with the first cue card. And the first cue card is describe a skill that you learned from older people. You should include the following points: what the skill is, who you learned it from, how did you learn it, how do you feel about it. In this cue card, you can talk about any skill that you know well, such as painting, cooking, driving, stitching, and so on. Let's move to the second cue card. The second cue card is describe a person whom you follow on the social media. You should include the following points: who he or she is, how do you know him or her, what he or she posts on social media, explain why do you follow that person on the social media. The third cue card is describe a gift you would like to buy for your friend. You should include the following points: what gift you would like to buy, who you would like to give it to, why you want to buy a gift for him or her, and explain why you choose that gift. In this cue card, you should talk about such a topic on which you are able to talk more. The gift can be a watch, a book, a bracelet, or a clothing item. Number 4 cue card in the list is describe a thing you did to learn another language. You should include the following points: what was the language, what you did to learn it, how it helped you to learn this language, and explain how you felt about it. The next cue card is describe a thing you can't live without, not mobile or computer. You should say what is it, how long have you had it for, why you can't live without it, explain how you felt when you were without it. So, in this cue card, you should not talk about mobile or computer. Instead, you can use other things as examples, such as specs, a diary, or a watch. Number 6 cue card is talk about a course that impressed you a lot. You should include the following points: what the course was about, where you took the course, what you did during the course, and explain why it impressed you the most. In this cue card, you can talk about cooking course, driving course, painting course, or the language course. Next cue card is talk about a person who contributes to the society. You should include the following points: name of the person, how do you know this person, what type of work he or she does, and explain why you think he or she contributes to the society. You can click the I button on the right side of the video for an answer of this cue card. Also, I will give you the link for this cue card in the description. The cue card is a person who helps others in his or her spare time. Similar answer can be used for this cue card. Describe an item on which you spent more than expected. You should include the following points: what it is, how much did you spend on it, why you bought it, explain why you think you spent more than expected. In this cue card, you can talk about a mobile phone, a laptop, a book, or any other gadget. I have already prepared an answer for this cue card, which you will get soon on my channel. The next cue card is describe a special cake that you received from others. You should say when did it happen, where it happened, who you got the cake from, and explain why this cake was special for you. In this cue card, you can talk about any occasion such as your birthday party, anniversary, or any special function in which you received a special cake either from your family member or from your friend. Number 10 cue card is talk about an interesting song you remember. You should include the following points: what the song is, what story the song tells, whether the song is popular among people, and explain why do you find this song interesting. Number 11 is describe a skill that was difficult for you to learn. You should include the following points: what the skill was, when you learned it, how you learned it, why you learned it, and how you felt when you learned it. So, again, in this cue card, you can talk about any skill such as cooking, painting, driving, or any other skill that you know and which was difficult for you to learn. Let's move to the next cue card now. The next cue card is describe an interesting conversation you had with your friend. You should include the following points: when it happened, who you spoke with, what the conversation was about, and explain why do you think it was interesting. In this cue card, you can talk about your study plan, your childhood, your dream job, or about environment or politics. So, there are several ideas to talk about for this cue card. The next cue card is talk about a place in a village that you visited. You should include the following points: where is it? When did you visit this place? What you did there? Explain how did you feel about this place. So I have already uploaded a video related to this cue card, and the cue card is describe a place where you are able to relax. You can use the similar ideas for this cue card also. You just need to change the introduction. We will provide you the link for this cue card in the description. Number 14th is describe an exciting book that you enjoy reading. You should say name of the book, when did you read it, what kind of book it is, what it is about, and why you think it is exciting. In this cue card, you can talk about any book related to history, your study, or religion, or any inspirational book that you have read and liked. The next cue card is talk about an enjoyable experience you had in the countryside. You should include the following points: where and when you went, who you went with, what you did there, and explain why you think it was enjoyable. Countryside means a village area where you went and liked. Cue card number 16 is describe a cafe that you like to visit. You should include the following points: where it is, what kind of food and drinks it serves, what you do there, and explain why you like to go there. I have already prepared a video for this cue card. You will get it soon on my YouTube channel. The next cue card is describe a long walk you ever had. You should include the following points: when did this happen, where did you walk, who you were with, and explain how you felt about this walk. Cue card number 18 is talk about an item of clothing that someone gave you. You should include the following points: what the clothing was, who gave it to you, why this person gave you the clothing, where you got it, and explain whether you liked it or not. Here you can talk about any special occasion where you got this item of clothing as a gift. It could be any item of clothing such as a t shirt, a pair of jeans, or any traditional dress that you liked. The next cue card is describe a city that you think is very interesting. You should include the following points: name of the city, where is it located, what it is famous for, when did you visit it, and explain why do you think it is an interesting city. I have already uploaded this cue card. Describe a city you have visited and would like to visit again in the future. So you can use the similar answer for this cue card. You can click the I button given above. Also, I will give you the link in the description part. 20th cue card is Describe an art or craft activity that you had at school. You should speak about the following points: what you made, how you made it, what it looked like, how you felt about this activity. As this cue card has already been uploaded, you can get the link in the description part. The next cue card is describe a rule that you do not like. You should include the following points: what it is, why you don't like this rule, how others feel about it, explain whether you have followed the rule or not. In this cue card, you can talk about any rule such as wearing white uniform in the school time. Cue card number 22 is describe someone you really like to spend time with. You should include the following points: name of the person, how do you know this person, what you usually do together, and explain why do you like to spend time with this person. So you will get the link in the description for this cue card. The next cue card is talk about a time you visited a new place. You should include the following points: where the new place is, when did you go there, why you went there, and explain how do you feel about this place. In this cue card, you can talk about any city or any place in your area, such as a mall, a park where you visited and liked the area. I have uploaded some cue card related to these ideas. You can click on the link in the description. The next cue card is describe a house or an apartment you would like to live in. You should speak about the following points: what it is like, where it would be, why you would like to live in this house or apartment, and explain how you feel about it. You will get the answer for this cue card shortly. Cue card number 25 is describe a plan in your life that is not related to work or study. You should include the following points: what it is about, why you have made it, what you need to do first, and explain how would you feel if it is successful. In this cue card, you can talk about any plan such as leading a healthy lifestyle or getting up early in the morning. The next cue card is describe a story someone told you and you still remember. You should include the following points: what the story was about, who told you this story, how do you feel about it, and explain why you still remember it. I have prepared an interesting idea for this cue card which I will upload soon on my YouTube channel. The next cue card is describe a person who impressed you the most when you were in the primary school. You should include the following points: who he or she is, how you know him or her, why he or she impressed you the most, and how you feel about him or her. I have already uploaded a video for this cue card. You can get the link in the description part. The next cue card is describe an activity you usually do that wastes your time. You should include the following points: what it is, when you usually do it, why you do it, and explain why you think it wastes your time. Cue card number 29 is describe a time you moved to a new home or school. You should include the following points: when you moved, where you moved, why you moved, and explain how you felt about it. There is a cue card on my channel. Describe your first day at school. Similar idea can be used for this cue card also. Cue card number 30 is describe a time when you felt proud of a family member. You should include the following points: who is the person, when it happened, what the person did, and why you felt proud of him or her. Cue card number 31 is describe a difficult thing you did. You should include the following points: what it was, how did you complete it, why it was difficult, and explain how you felt about doing it. In this cue card, you can talk about anything you did in a competition. The next cue card is describe a time you got up early. You should include the following points: when was it? Why did you get up early? What did you do after getting up? And explain how you felt about it. For this cue card, you can talk about any idea. For example, you can talk about a time when you need to attend any appointment in another city and you got up early. The next cue card is describe a person who solved a problem in a smart way. You should include the following points: who this person is, what the problem was, how he or she solved it, and explain why you think he or she did it in a smart way. I have already uploaded a video. You can click the I button and also you will get the link in the description part. The next cue card is describe an article which you have read about health. You should include the following points: what it was, when you read it, where you read it, why you read it, and explain why do you think it was an interesting article. In this cue card, you can talk about any article you read either on the internet or in the magazine about health. Cue card number 35 is describe a time you were friendly to someone you didn't like. You should include the following points: when and where it happened, who he or she was, why you didn't like this person, and explain why you were friendly to him or her on that occasion. Cue card number 36 is describe a time you bought something from a street or outdoor market. You should say when it was, what you bought, where the market was, and explain how you felt about it. In this cue card, you can talk about any clothing item or stationery item that you bought from a street or outdoor market. The next cue card is talk about a time when you were waiting for something special that would happen. You should say what you waited for, where you waited, why it was special, and explain how you felt when you were waiting. In this cue card, you can talk about any online purchase that you were waiting for or any gift that was sent to you. Cue card number 38 is describe a famous athlete you know. You should include the following points: who he or she is, how do you know him or her, what has he or she achieved, and explain why he or she is famous. There are many athletes in our country, so you can talk about any one of them. Especially, you can talk about Milkha Singh, who is very famous in India. The next cue card is describe a creative person whose work you admire. You should include the following points: who he or she is, how do you know him or her, what creative things he or she has done, and explain why you think he or she is creative. For this cue card, you can talk about any artist such as a painter, a sculptor, or any other whom you admire. The next cue card is describe a difficult decision that you once made. You should include the following points: what the decision was, when you made the decision, how long did it take you to make the decision, and explain why it was difficult decision you made. If you want to make it simple, then you should talk about a decision that you made to moving abroad for higher education. Hope you like the video. Stay tuned for more IELTS updates and videos.